To kick off 2022, my wife and I moved to Sydney, Australia. Migrating was something I never thought I would do, but guess what? It happened anyway. Moving to a new city can be daunting without the right knowledge, which is why I aim to share with you what I experienced so when it comes to it, you'll be well informed. Join us on this journey if you would like to learn more about settling into this country. Hey guys, what's up? So the big day is finally here. We are catching our flight to Sydney, Australia tonight. So the thing about migrating as a videographer is that you have a lot of stuff to bring along with you. Let me show you what I mean. So I have with me 12 bags weighing up to 170 kg, out of which more than 100 kg belongs to me. So good luck to us trying to move all this. Since we are going to have our hands full, quite literally, let's just cut to the airport scene right after we check in our baggage. It's been about 2 years since we last stepped into this place, so it's good to be finally back. But other than that, there's not really a lot of content to create in this place, so I guess I'll see you guys in the land down under. Okay, so we are waiting to board our flight now, and I was hoping for a empty plane, but guess not. On our flight over, we encountered some hiccups. The plane was unable to land due to bad weather and we were forced to redirect to Melbourne. Paula did not seem too bothered by the situation. The delay dragged on longer than expected and we even had to disembark the plane. Once again, Paula did not seem to be affected. We were supposed to land at 11 AM, but we only managed to do so at 10 PM. It was an 11-hour flight delay, just our luck. By the time we got out, most of the SIM card stores were closed. Thank goodness one was still open. We had to rush to make our purchase because the airport closes at 11 PM. So yesterday was pretty hectic with the travel delays and the handling of 11 bags between 2 people. But today is our first official day in Sydney. The original plan was to settle our logistical needs when we first arrived in Sydney. But because today is Saturday, we decided to take things easy and be like tourists. We first went out looking for food. Paula was in the mood for sushi, so we found a Japanese place. Dine-in was not available at this shop, so we brought it back to our Airbnb. Food was pretty good. With lunch done, we went out to get our grocery shopping done first in case the stores closed early. It is definitely a different environment here than it is back in Singapore. Everyone was out and about without their masks, like the pandemic is a thing of the past. It was nice to feel like things were back to normal. One of my favorite things is that the city is so dog friendly. You could see them everywhere and they were allowed in cafes and stuff. Made me wish my own dog was here with me. We went to an Asian supermarket and it felt like we were back in Sheng Siong. I was expecting to not be able to cook my favorite Asian dishes, but they had a lot of items and most of them were familiar. Price-wise, it is slightly more expensive than Singapore, but it isn't too far off either. We also unpacked our bags and did the laundry. With all the errands sorted out, we were free to explore our surroundings. Our accommodation is a 5 minutes walk away from Blackwater Bay. It was drizzling slightly, but the temperature was great for walks. Even after walking for a few kilometers, I barely broke a sweat. It was a perfect way to end the day.
Morning.
Okay, so today is day 2 of exploring Sydney, and the plan for today is to do super touristy stuff. So I've been to Sydney before, but it was just for a couple of days. But this is Paula's first time to Australia. So we are doing or visiting wherever she wants to go. We started the day by going to the famous Sydney Fish Market for breakfast. There is a large variety of seafood and everything looked so good. So we're at Sydney Fish Market and I'm glad this time I'm here with Paula because the last time I was here I was alone and the number of things I could eat was limited. So today I'll be able to order more. After breakfast, we took a walk to Darling Harbour. Pretty nice place, with a Ferris wheel that looks like a mini Singapore Flyer, a museum, and a couple of other tourist attractions. Okay, so after Darling Harbour, which is very much like Singapore's Marina Bay and VivoCity combined, we are now making our way over to Chinatown. Maybe you'll buy a rice cooker there. One thing about walking in Sydney is that there are a lot of slopes. It's a workout if you commute by foot, especially with a heavy camera bag. Okay, so I'm in Chinatown already, but I was expecting much more lanterns and, red decorations, but it doesn't really look like Chinatown. Looks a bit westernized. Once we walked into the malls, we started seeing the familiar sights of Chinese culture, the red decorations, lanterns, and the animal statues. The supermarket here has a large variety of Asian food and even sold appliances like rice cookers. I'll definitely be back to buy one. I need my rice. Okay, so after walking around for quite a bit today, we decided to get ourselves mobile cards, and you can get them from 7-Elevens. And this will be used to take a public transport like the buses and trains around the city. Just now in the afternoon, we headed back to our Airbnb to rest because it started getting hot and we were getting a little tired from all the walking. Now it's the evening time and we're heading out again, and I'm really excited because we're going to some place I've never been to before, which is called Manly, and we're taking a ferry there, which is something I've never done in Sydney even though I was here before. To get to Manly, you need to catch the ferry from Circular Quay. At Circular Quay, you can also see the iconic Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Sydney Opera House, so factor in more time if you want to visit those places. Manly Beach is a short 5 minutes walk from the wharf, and from there, you can do a coastal walk to Shelley Beach and further up to Shelley Headland Upper Lookout. It's been 2 years since I've had a proper outdoor experience, so it was nice to be out in nature once again.
Are we there yet?
One of the things that I'm looking forward to living in Australia is to enjoy such a lifestyle more frequently, and I'm glad that it's so convenient to do so. We ended the day by watching the sunset from the lookout point, and it was a great way to do so. It is day 3 in Sydney. For the past couple of days, we actually had a lot of leisure time to explore the city. For today, it's for us to settle the business end of things, and for a start, we're at Paula's school for her to pick up her student card. In all honesty, I wanted to stay behind to apply for jobs, but I still got dragged along, so I ended up going to the school to visit. The process was pretty quick. In just about 5 minutes or so, Paula was done. And now, we're gonna head over to the bank to get our accounts. So we have some bad news. We arrived at the bank, but they said the queue is 3 hours long. So we're supposed to come back tomorrow at 9:30 AM instead. So we're gonna come bright and early to try to avoid the wait. So our day isn't as fruitful as expected because of the bank situation. But fret not, right now we are heading out for our daily dose of nature. And for today, we're heading to Bondi Beach. Okay, so between the two of us, Paula is more of the beach person. I'm more of the sand and seawater away from my camera. And this is my skin color without me intentionally suntanning, so I tend to avoid the sun as much as I can. So we are here for her. And she's gonna go swimming while I'm gonna wait here because I need to look after my camera stuff. Seems like although Paula loves the water, the feeling is not neutral. She is being rejected by the ocean. So after we were done with what my wife wanted to do, it was time for what I wanted to do, which was to do the coastal walk. Okay, so now I want to fly my FPV drone, and this will be my first time flying in Australia. However, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the winds are really strong, and I've actually never flown my drone in such strong wind conditions before. I'm gonna play safe and fly in the inside area first, like where there's land, so it won't fall and drop into the ocean. But yes, fingers crossed this turns out well. Sure if the wind is affecting, but feels pretty normal. Oh, that's a nice shot. I'm pretty sure this footage won't be cinematic because I'm still not very good at flying FPV still. Oh, my drone just lost connection. Oh, my drone just lost connection. Thank God for the safety features of DJI drone. Okay, so thank goodness I got my drone back. So I guess the safety features of DJI drone is really useful. I think just now it lost connection and I was not able to control my drone. The whole signal entirely cut off, but the return to home function really worked. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna fly in such windy conditions for now. Good morning, guys. So it's day 4 and I started my day by sending out job applications. My ideal plan is to remain in my current industry, so I'm looking for a video production job. So far, I've come across 6 job listings that fit the bill and I've applied for them. Okay, so today is our second attempt at opening our bank accounts. And how do we do that? Is by reaching the store before it even opens. That's the most Singaporean thing to do. They open at 9:30 and we're here at 9:08 because Paula wanted to. To my surprise, more people joined the queue. Guess Sydney has some similarities to Singapore. Okay, so we just got finished with signing up for our bank accounts. I took about 30 minutes, Paula took about 20 minutes. Maybe the difference was because I did not apply in advance online while she did. But essentially it didn't take very long either. So I don't think you really need to apply online, but you could if you want to save that few extra minutes. So the other thing to take note of is that you will not receive your card until 1 to 2 weeks later. So make sure you have enough spending money during that period. And yes, another thing you might want to know is that they do have an equivalent of Singapore's PayNow or PayLah, which is PayID, and you could sign up for it in the app called CommBank. For the second part of the day, we went apartment hunting. There are a few things we are looking out for. One is of course the space and the design of the apartment. We have lots of belongings, so we will definitely need more space. It will also be a big plus if they had amenities in the estate like a pool and a gym. Another thing we are looking out for is the vibe and the amenities in the neighborhood. The place has to feel safe and it's ideal if there are supermarkets and restaurants nearby. I would highly recommend people looking for their permanent residence to do it in person and not online. With online inspections, pictures may be misleading, and more importantly, you won't be able to view the neighborhood, and some of these listings can be in shady places that you might not feel comfortable in. For your reference, we are looking to get a private apartment with 1 bedroom, a toilet, and a parking space. The average cost for that is approximately $550 a week. Okay, so after a whole day of apartment hunting, I am pretty exhausted. Although we checked out only 3 listings, it was more than just checking out the property itself. We also had to check out the surrounding areas, so it was pretty exhausting. So for the rest of the day, I'm just going to fly my FPV drone. I'm really appreciative for the fact that in Sydney, I'm able to easily find a place to fly my drone because back in Singapore, there is an airport almost everywhere and it's very hard to find a place you could actually take off. So I'm really thankful for the fact that I get to do this. Okay, so the wind conditions today are pretty strong as well, but it's definitely not as bad as it was yesterday, so I don't think I'll face a problem. I'm not expecting to get anything cinematic today. I'm just here to practice flying my drone. I'm starting to become like Potato Jet, I guess. Bringing my drone everywhere and just flying it. I don't know how people get cinematic footage with this, it's so tough. Okay, I'm done. Time to wrap up the day. Yesterday, I shared that I sent out job applications on a recruitment website. Today, I'm going to adopt a different strategy. I'll be using the power of social media to network with fellow videographers in the city. I do so by joining those Facebook groups, and I'll create a few posts to start the conversation. I will also be reaching out to brands and companies that I want to work with to see if they want any videos done. I won't sit around and wait for a reply on those job applications. The second part of today is more apartment hunting because we want to make sure that we find a place that we love, as that will be home for the next 1.5 years. For the past couple of days, we've been eating out a lot and spending quite a bit. So today, to save money, we actually cooked and packed our own lunch, and we are eating it at a nearby park.
Ta-da!
We have mala.
Singaporean special.
We realized today that even though two different listings are in the same neighborhood and are literally 2 streets away from each other, the condition of the estate can be drastically different. That is why it's so important to do physical inspections. Anyways, we filled up an application for one of the apartments, and gosh, the form is so tedious to fill up. I would recommend you not to do this when you're tired. With that said, this pretty much summarizes our day. Are you guys going to get bored if I tell you that we're apartment hunting again today? Because I think this will go on for the rest of the week. Okay, so today I'm doing something different. Paula has to go to school to sort out some of her stuff, so I'm taking this opportunity to check out some of the camera stores here in Sydney. I will be taking a different mode of public transport for the first time, the tram. It is very much like Singapore's LRT. In my opinion, it is a more comfortable ride, but it isn't as efficient or convenient as the buses. So the 3 stores I checked out today were DigiDirect, George's Camera, and Ted's World of Imaging. If I were to rate them, I would say that Ted's World of Imaging looks the nicest and has a decent amount of products, and George's Camera has more products and stuff that I will actually get. All of them are in the same vicinity and within walking distance, so it's a good thing if you need to visit a few of them for any reason. What I really like about Sydney is that their stores open relatively early. Shops that were usually open only at 11 AM in Singapore would open at about 9 AM here. So me buying new propellers for my FPV drone pretty much sums up my day. This will be the final entry before I wrap up this vlog. So guess what we'll be doing today? Once again, we are apartment hunting. But the difference this time is that I'll be doing it alone because Paula conveniently made plans with her friends to go diving. And the cherry on top of this cake is that she scheduled 4 different viewings and they're all in very different areas. So I guess I'll be travelling a lot today. So after viewing the 4 properties, I'm exhausted. And I believe that this will go on for quite a while, so I'm going to conclude this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed being a part of this journey and picked up a useful tip or 2. Stay tuned for the next one where we move into our new place. That's pretty much it for today. It's a wrap!